is strong.
The base is blazing.
dd206 is a module which is all about the uses that you can make of social science in your everyday life, in your work life, but perhaps in particular the uses you can make of social science to change the world in which you live in.
The exciting thing about social sciences is it changes the way we look at the world. It makes us challenge the taken for granted assumptions about how things operate.
So, for example, a mum comes home from work, her kids are hungry, she decides to feed them burger and chips. From a public health perspective, that's a bad choice, but from a social science perspective, I think would want to kind of reframe the issue. We'd be interested in the social context of those choices.
The module is designed for anybody who has a curiosity about the worlds they live in and how they're connected to wider worlds.
I can't see the chaos that is happening in that living room, but I can almost sense that I know exactly what is happening.
dd206 takes students on a journey. It's a journey that starts in the most intimate personal aspects of our lives, but ends the most grand public issues of our time. Social science is crucial to how people's personal troubles and personal concerns are translated into public issues.
You know, when I'm fed up, I'll feel like going for a ciggy. I don't actually think that it's going to harm my child.
We use private troubles as a launching pad to investigate some of the everyday dilemmas that people face in ordinary life.
I left school in '83. The unemployment rate for lads my age in this area was 90%. I was a musician and then I became a carer. What am I now?
What we do as social scientists is try to look at the relationships between the individual and the society in which they live, about the causes, about the distribution, about the patterns that you see.
Social scientists are trying to make sense of the tensions created by rapid economic growth and inward migration.
There is a large influx of labourers and skilled labourers from outside the state, which creates a lot of trouble. With the migration increasing, with the cities growing, with inequality widening, I'm sure that is going to be the reasons for the future conflicts.
We don't just pass comments on things, we don't just take a few anecdotes, but we have a whole set of tools and methods that help us analyse in detail the workings of society.
Social science throws things into relief. It illuminates the world, it acts as a signpost, it points things out.
We asked children and young people to document and record what their life was like where they lived. We found that children were really excluded from opportunities in some of the most basic opportunities. So from the 11,000 images that we had returned, one image of a cinema was returned, and that was the only thing that was photographed that had an entrance fee.
If you think poverty is just lack of income, you do not get at what the fabric of that experience actually is. You do not get at what the impact of that is on people's lives.
The main order of business today is for us to discuss the draft of week 1 of Block 6.
dd206 is an interdisciplinary module, and therefore it's made by a team of academics from different disciplines, by geographers, sociologists, social policy experts, economists, political scientists.
We spent 2 years doing this, and our objective is to produce a variety of materials that are presented to the student on the virtual learning environment.
Because clearly he's talking about sociology, and I think you might have changed it back, but I kept trying to change it to social science all the time.
In addition to the academics, there are people working to try and make the content more lively, more accessible, and to make the most of a diverse range of new media technologies.
As they get towards the end of the module, students will learn more about how social science informs public policy, how social science is used by different constituencies like governments, but also local authorities, schools, hospitals, all kinds of different social institution, different kinds of user.
In Liverpool, social scientists are becoming closely involved in contributing to anti-obesity policies.
We do an active people survey every year. The active people survey right across communities in Liverpool shows increased physical activity levels.
One of the endpoints that we hope students will get to after having studied dd206 is that they will understand just how deeply involved social science is in every aspect of their everyday lives, and the varied and diverse people who are involved in using social science. And these are not just people who work in universities.
By the time students arrive at the end of the module, they'll have learnt how social science makes the world visible, how social science helps us to make sense of the world, and how social science makes a difference to the world, how it helps to change the world in some way.
By making things visible, by making sense of things, social science in turn broadens the scope of our horizons.